I'm very much inspired by syntropic agriculture. Syntropic agriculture is a method where you are considering the life cycles of plants. So that's working in time. There are short life cycle plants which are living just for 1 year. There are the placenta plants and plants that have a longer life cycle. And we combine and orchestrate those different time cycles together. And obviously also plants have a different requirement in space. Odemira, for example, is a plant which is growing very high. It's an emergent plant, and there are medium plant, high plants, and we orchestrate that as well. So that is the inspiration from syntropic agriculture. My approach is that we are working the most we can with what is around us. That's why all plants you see here, we grew from seed. We have a tree nursery. In this tree nursery, we have this very dense plantation. In one pot, we have like hundreds of trees. That saves space and also water. And with those trees, we are planting and combining then those tree lines. When you look here, then you see a lot of little plants. Those plants were planted, but before we didn't dig or came with an excavator or whatever, because we don't want to disturb the soil. Because the slight mycelium which is on the soil should support the new plantation. Here we have a huge diversity of different plants. It looks a little bit random, but it has a system in the randomness. So how we plant, we bring in first the plants, like in the middle, and then next to the plants we bring in wood chips. They protect the plants, and the wood chips, of course, they are attracting microbiology. And into the wood chips we plant fava beans. The fava beans bring nitrogen in the soil and they decompose the wood chips. Now I want to explain you the diversity of plants and why it looks perhaps a little random, isn't. So we have here an emergent plant. This is a poplar. Next to the poplar we have a high growing plant. From the stratification it is below the poplar. It's a Tipuana tipu. The Tipuana tipu fixes also nitrogen. Next to the poplar we have Marcella. That's the name in Portuguese. It's curry herb as far as I know. It's also growing wild here next to it, and it's a placenta plant. It covers the lowest layer of vegetation. Next to the Marcella or the curry plant, we have a China berry. Next to the China berry, we have a ligustrum, and next to the ligustrum, we have a Asteracea. Then we have next to this guy, we have a lemon balm. And you see that plants are very, very tiny, but this is kind of the initiation of a new, beautiful, diverse fruit forest. The lemon balm is like a placenta plant, which is a short cycle plant, has a shorter cycle than this guy here. Therefore, it cycles faster back nutrients into the soil. Here we have a beautiful Phytosporum, that's the name of this plant. Then we have a rosemary. Then we have geranium, a lemon geranium. It's a wonderful essential oil plant where you can also be protected by mosquitoes. When you have the geranium on you, they don't bite you. Then you have a senna. It's also a medium layer plant, which is one of the biggest, let's say, or we have the most medium layer plants here. They occupy the most space. Next to it, we have wild garlic. It's also important to have some plants who are really focusing on building roots in order to really break up this soil. And then about 1 meter apart, we have the first fruit tree from the poplar. It's not even a meter when I see it like this. But this is then a fruit tree which has also a high layer. We want a kind of a distance towards the emergent plant because they need just some light, right? And next to the fig, we have Artemisia, and next to the Artemisia, we have an orange tree. And the fig tree is on the south part of the orange tree. So in summer, the fig tree can protect the orange tree because the orange tree is a medium layer plant and likes to be under a high layer plant. In the winter, the fig loses the leaves, and while the orange tree produces fruits, the light comes in again. And then it goes on. We have rosemary, lemon balm. We have in here lupines, which are very short cycle plant, also placenta plant. And so you see we have a huge diversity. Then we have over there, we have thyme, we have elderberry, and this goes on like 60 meters in this direction. And we have 11 lines of about 60 meters here. Almost 1 kilometer of this very dense plantation. And guess what? Every plant here comes from our tree nursery. Almost every plant, sorry, this orange is not. But this orange comes from our tree nursery. We bought these oranges in order to graft upon this orange later this variety. I have chosen for exactly these plants because they are plants, they grow around this area. When you open your eyes a little bit in the parks you go, or in Odemira where they plant some trees, then I see those plants. Now I take the seeds from the plants. And the seeds from those plants, I need then, when they grow, I need then to figure out what stratification they have. Then I know exactly the position, and I need to know the life cycle of the plant. Then I know also the position of the plants. And there I diversify life cycle and stratification in those lines, that I create kind of like a wave through the whole line. And with this wave, it's much more dynamic. And this wave goes 60 meters here, and in between those lines, we are seeding grass when we have regularly some rain.